Story appears ordinary till you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is a story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
Hello there, good evening and welcome to CoreTV Primetime News. I am Gete. In our major story, Muhammad Buhari beats all comers to the presidential ticket of the All Progressives Congress. Also in this program, President Goodluck Jonathan's candidacy ratified by the National Convention of the People's Democratic Party as he picks Vice President Namadi Sambo as his running mate. Twin bomb blast hit the popular Jos Terminus Central Market in Plateau State, killing many. And outside Nigeria, Russia's President Vladimir Putin visits India to seal deal on trade and security. Thanks for staying tuned with us. It's CoreTV Primetime News. Now details of the headlines and other stories. Muhammad Buhari has been declared the winner of the APC presidential primaries. The two-day event, which was keenly contested, saw Buhari coasted home 3,430 votes, while vote counting was still on at the Presidential Convention of the All Progressives Congress APC. Atiku Abubakar, one of the contestants, congratulated Buhari. In a statement by his media office, the former vice president vowed to work for Buhari's success in the February 14, 2015 polls. The statement read, "I am very confident that you will provide the needed leadership to turn this country around. I have no doubt that you will work with dedicated and qualified Nigerians to protect our citizens, improve our economy, create jobs, improve education, reform governance and fight corruption. You will indeed bring the change Nigerians have been yearning for. Once more, congratulations." I congratulate the other contestants, namely Governors Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso and Rocha Zukarta, as well as the erudite Sam Nda Isaiah. You have all demonstrated your commitment to democracy by participating in the transparent process.
Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, 974 votes. Sam Nda Isaiah, 10 votes. And Rocha Anayo Okorocha, 624 votes. Total votes received 5,992 votes. My pleasure and honor to declare Muhammadu Buhari as the winner of the All Progressives Congress presidential primary in preparation for the 2015 presidential election.
Meanwhile, leaders of the All Progressives Congress are to meet to decide on a running mate for Muhammad Buhari, who coasted home to victory in the party's presidential primary. CoreTV News gathered that Rotimi Amechi, governor of Rivers State, is highly favored to pick the slot, but Yemi Osibajo, a professor of law and former Attorney General of Lagos State under Tinubu, is also being considered. Kayode Fayemi, former governor of Ekiti State, is also thought to be in the running, but he is said to have lost the trust of Tinubu after a series of incidents this year, leading to his failure to get re-elected as governor. Fayemi was also reported to have antagonized Tinubu during the party's convention in June, and the former governor of Lagos State is said to have developed cold feet at his possible candidature. Babatunde Fashola, governor of Lagos State, was highly favored to be running mate, but the issue of Muslim ticket effectively threw him out of the equation. Other Southwest APC governors are all Muslims, making it politically complicated to pick any of them. The gainers, the two-day national convention and presidential primaries of the All Progressives Congress did not produce Muhammad Buhari alone as the winner. Trust Lagos traders as they catch on the event to record trade boom. From food vendors to shoe menders, the list is endless. Omotayo Law was at the Teslim Balogun Stadium, venue of the APC presidential primaries. She returned with this report.
One can't but marvel at this market atmosphere, no matter the size. For these traders, the major preoccupation at the event was simply to make money, and this they did in style at the Teslim Balogun Stadium in Surulere. While delegates of the All Progressives Congress across the country were kept busy with the important business of deciding who the party's candidates will be for the 2015 presidential election, these traders maximized the opportunity to make some quick money.
Even in my shop, the money that I make in these 2 days, I don't think that I will make it in my shop, actually. But the price that I sold it at a cheaper rent because I need money. I know December is coming, so I need to travel and bring other goods.
Well, summer is still low yesterday. It's still big customer today. I just sell market is fine. Now it's sell from market 100 naira less.
This phone battery charger was smart enough. It took advantage of the occasion to double its service charge.
When there's no program, I charge 50, but now there's program, a lot of demand comes, so I switch to 100 naira per either battery or phone.
However, like Oliver Twist, the somewhat greedy traders want a repeat of such event, but every day, it is said, cannot be Christmas. Even as they smile to the banks without paying rent for space used, the mess created by the activities became the burden of officials of the Lagos State Waste Management Agency. Aside from the primary elections holding in this area, Lagosians have also taken advantage of the business opportunity lying in this area. While some say they've made enough money for their pockets at this event, they are so excited that such events could continue. But beyond the economic boom and lots of cash they have in their pockets, they wish that the decision made in this place would make Nigeria a whole lot better than what it used to be. Omotayo Alo, CoreTV News, Lagos.
President Goodluck Jonathan has finally laid to rest speculations on the fate of his deputy Namadi Sambo by picking him as his running mate for the 2015 presidential election. Jonathan made the announcement shortly after he was ratified as the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party at a special convention in Abuja.
For Nigerians, the coming election is very simple. The choice between going forward or going backward. Between the new ways and the old ways. Between freedom and repression. Between the record of peaceful achievement and beneficial reform and desperate power seekers with empty promises. Architect Mohammed Namadi Sambo, the loyal and careful partner, is presidential candidate once again. With your continued support, the leadership of God Almighty, Vice President Sambo and I will campaign together to win another resounding victory.
Hello, okay. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, for President.
And while the All Progressives Congress converged on Lagos to pick a presidential candidate, the ruling People's Democratic Party held a special convention to ratify the candidacy of the President Goodluck Jonathan. At the end of the two-day event, Jonathan was endorsed by the delegates, while Adamu Mwazu's position as party chairman was ratified. A number of the party leaders and faithfuls also expressed optimism on PDP's chance of extending its 16-year rule in 2015. The stage is again set for a repeat of the 2011 presidential election. In what is expected to be a battle royale, the two candidates of the two biggest political parties in Nigeria will once again go before Nigerians to seek votes come 2015. The expectations as well as the stakes are high. The reports. We do apologize we cannot bring you that report, but we'll sort that out and bring it to you immediately. We can get that sorted out. Meanwhile, the aborted governorship primaries of the People's Democratic Party in Kwara State, which is slated for today, is yet to take off. Correspondent Rashid reports that the venue of the primaries is under tight security cover, apparently to prevent a repeat of the free-for-all that greeted the last attempt. There are 13 contestants for the ticket of the PDP in the state, and the process has been marred in controversy from the onset. Benue State Governor Gabriel Suswam is reported to be meeting the aspirants, after which they are all expected to hit the venue for the primary. We will bring you details of the primaries as they unfold. It's still the CoreTV Prime Time News. We'll take a break and be right back. Stay with us.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, dear Professor.
My former students.
Happy birthday.
Every day, life is made better by the moments of surprise we create for others and for ourselves. Be better. Surprise someone this season and make sure to text 11 to 400 to get a surprise from MTN.
MTN, everywhere you go.
Thanks for staying tuned with us. If you've just joined us, it's CoreTV Primetime News. Now a quick reminder of our top stories. Muhammad Buhari beats all comers to the presidential ticket of the All Progressives Congress. Also in this program, President Goodluck Jonathan's candidacy ratified by the National Convention of the People's Democratic Party as he picks Vice President Namadi Sambo as his running mate. Twin bomb blast hits the popular Jos Terminus Central Market in Plateau State, killing many. The twin bomb blast has again hit the ever-busy Terminus Market in Jos, the Plateau State capital. The explosions were said to have occurred late afternoon as people were preparing to go home around 6 p.m. local time, though no official statement has been made so far on the cause of the bombing or the casualty figure. The bombing occurred near the site of a similar one in May that led to the death of many, and it was at a time when the area was not as busy as it usually is. We'll keep you posted on that story in our subsequent bulletins. The Kano Police Commissioner, Derinle Shinaba, has confirmed that 4 people died while 7 others sustained severe injuries in the twin suicide bomb blast which rocked Kanti Akwari Textile Market in the state on Monday. The attack occurred less than 2 weeks after over 100 people were killed in a gun bomb attack on the Kano Central Mosque. The police commissioner, who briefed journalists, ordered that the suicide bombers were girls in hijab.
Well, so far, from what I gathered, there are about 6 dead people with 7 injured. The injured have all been taken to the hospital. The dead have been moved equally to the mortuary, including the 2 female suicide bombers. So what we are doing right now is to cordon off the entire marketplace so that people will not come under the pretext of sympathizing with the people and start looting the shop. We are here and we are going to put adequate security in place to discourage people who are coming who may want to loot the goods in the market. We are working in conjunction with the market union executives, and that's what we are doing so far. And the situation has been brought under control, as you can see things for yourself. Very soon we are opening the road, which we are blocking to prevent people surging forward in case there could be another blast. Our explosive ordnance department are already working around the market to ensure that there is no bomb that is still laden inside the market, so that we don't have more casualties.
What about the girls going by the recording of the people?
Sorry?
How about
The police authorities have commenced disciplinary action against the operative who tortured a couple in Lagos. This was after Inspector General of Police Sulaiman Abba ordered an investigation into the alleged torture of a photographer and his wife around the Lekki roundabout. Police spokesman Emmanuel Ojukwu, who confirmed this, says the officer is now undergoing administrative trial. He ordered that other police personnel whose conduct he noted did not speak well are also being sanctioned, preparatory to further necessary action. The police spokesman said the action is in line with the content of the newly launched NPF Human Rights Practice Manual and quotes the IG as saying that human rights abuse won't be tolerated in the force. The duet between Ogun PDP chieftain Buruji Kashamu and former President Olusegun Obasanjo over the latest memos titled My Watch may be far from over. Buruji seeks and got an injunction from a court in Abuja to stop the former president from launching the book, but the court order was defied by Obasanjo, who went ahead with the occasion and subsequently lambasted the judge. Justice Valentine Ashi also gave the former president 21 days to show cause why he should not be punished for flouting the court order or for going ahead to publish the book. Oluwaseyi Adegoke met with 3 Lagos-based lawyers on the development and filed in this report.
2 of the 3 Lagos-based lawyers, Justice Uhuebu and Paul Onyeka, are of the view that the ex-president flouted the court order and deserved to be punished under the law.
Once any person, an individual or group of persons, had faulted a court order, court judgment or court ruling without due process, it is contempt. What the court did was the right thing in the right direction by making such an order without wasting time. And if that is not done, the implication will be that the law courts in Nigeria we become a toothless bulldog. I am not only advocating that those books should be confiscated and all the rest, that the court should have even ordered for the arrest of the former President Obasanjo.
A court of competent jurisdiction gave such order. And I mean, the law is not respecter of anybody. And I guess the president may have overlooked that fact. And to me, I think it's in the right direction. And somebody of his personality is expected to live by example.
For the third lawyer, Monday Ubani, though Obasanjo's conduct was unlawful in the face of the earlier court order, the ex-president should be given a chance to defend his action.
President Obasanjo has been given this opportunity now to come and explain why he should not be committed for contempt for having violated an express order of the court that he should not go ahead with the launching of the book. So he has the right now to come and explain. Now, if the explanation is not satisfactory, then the court now cannot commit him to prison, or any other penalty can be imposed upon him. But I think most of the time it's usually custodial sentencing that should go with the issue of contempt or disobeying court order.
Meanwhile, a 20 billion naira libel suit has been filed against Olusegun Obasanjo by Kashamu. Oluwaseyi Adegoke, CoreTV News, Lagos.
As the controversy over the publication of his autobiography rages amidst a confiscation order by an FCT Federal High Court, former President Olusegun Obasanjo has appealed the order given by the court that security agents, including the police and men of the Department of State Service, to confiscate his latest autobiography, My Watch. The judge, Valentine Ashi, gave the order after the ex-president went ahead on Tuesday in Lagos and presented the book to the public, disobeying the court's restraining injunction. The decision by the former president to appeal was prompted by the 21-day ultimatum given him by the court to explain why he should not be punished for flouting a restraining order. The Chairman Mobilization and Organization Committee, People's Democratic Party Southwest, Mr. Buruji Kashamu, had instituted a legal action against some sections of the publication of the book. Obasanjo filed the appeal through his legal team, led by Gboyega Oyewole, challenging the confiscation order, citing 10 grounds to support the appeal and arguing that the trial judge erred in his ruling. The former president also released a statement signed by him in Abeokuta, where he said he did not dare the judiciary, as widely interpreted by media reports. 9 days after he was dethroned and banished from the throne, a retired military Major Mustafa Jokolo has been reinstated as the Emir of Gwandu by a Kebbi State High Court in Birnin Kebbi. Jokolo was former aide-de-camp to General Muhammad Buhari when he served as Nigerian military head of state in 1983. Jokolo, who was deposed in 2005, was a sworn enemy of former President Olusegun Obasanjo. Many believe his dethronement and subsequent banishment to Gusau in Zamfara was orchestrated by the former head of state. Security in the state has become tense as a result of Jokolo's reinstatement. The National Health Bill has finally been signed into law after running a risk of expiration for a second time. It had on 2 previous occasions failed to make the final cut after successfully going through both houses of the National Assembly. But now that President Goodluck Jonathan has signed it into law, health experts and those who advocated for its passage say Nigeria is on the verge of good healthcare services if well implemented.
The National Health Bill has been at the presidency for several months before news filtered out that the president had few weeks ago signed into law. This expectedly triggered some jubilation among those who have been pushing for its assent. This, they say, is because the bill is aimed at providing a framework for the regulation, development and management of a national health system with set standards for healthcare delivery.
We expect that health services for Nigerians will be transformed as the new health law provides funding from the federal government with counterpart funding from state and local governments for guaranteeing basic minimum healthcare package for all Nigerians. Children below the ages of 5, pregnant women and the elderly and disabled Nigerians will receive free health care. The law requires universal acceptance of accident and other emergency cases by all health facilities, both public and private hospitals. The law provides for improved standards and quality of care in our health facilities.
Mr. President wants us to go to the hospital and come out with our baby smiling. Mr. President wants to make sure that when we go to our primary health care centers, we can receive treatment, we can receive services without going to the headquarters of our state. Mr. President wants to ensure that he delivers health to our doorsteps. Hence, when we took the National Health Bill to him, he was ready to sign. If you look at the time that Mr. President signs that, only a responsible president would do that.
At a time Nigeria is seen as one of the countries with poor health services, these activities see light at the end of the tunnel. They say the bill, if well implemented, will help save the lives of 3 million women and children over a 5-year period.
What is far more significant is to ensure that the act is implemented for the benefits of Nigerian people, especially mothers and children. We believe that this is one law that will be implemented with the participation of all of us.
These experts and activists are confident of a transformed health sector with appropriate policy guidance. They also hope that the authorities would put mechanisms in place to ensure that the new law works for the benefits of all Nigerians.
It's CoreTV Prime Time News. We'll take another break and be back with business, sports and stories outside Nigeria. Stay with us.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, dear Professor.
My former students.
Happy birthday.
Every day, life is made better by the moments of surprise we create for others and for ourselves. Be better. Surprise someone this season and make sure to text 11 to 400 to get a surprise from MTN.
MTN, everywhere you go.
Good to have you. Stay tuned. And now it's time for business. The Debt Management Office said on Thursday it plans to sell 65 billion naira worth of sovereign bonds with maturities ranging between 3 and 20 years on December 17th. The debt office will sell 10 billion naira in 3-year paper, 30 billion naira in 10-year paper, and 25 billion naira in 20-year tenor. All the bonds are a reopening of the previously issued paper, and the result of the auction is expected to be published a day after the auction. The Association of Nigeria Licensed Customs Agents Thursday said 75% of the cargoes at the cargo terminal of Murtala Mohammed International Airport, MMIA, was still uncleared. 2 handlers, the Nigerian Aviation Handling Company PLC and the Skyway Aviation Handling Crew, a few days ago threatened to impose additional charges on goods not cleared within a specific period. According to them, 25% of goods had been cleared so far by the companies, stressing that the stringent measures put in place by the customs was slowing down the process at the terminal. The federal government has unveiled plans to relax the collateral conditions attached by the Central Bank of Nigeria for banks to access 220 billion naira intervention fund for the micro, small and medium enterprises sector. The Director General, Small and Medium Enterprises Development Agency, Alhaji Bature Masari, disclosed as well. He said a major factor facing the MSME sector is access to funds. Apart from finance, other challenges facing the sector, according to him, are weak infrastructure and inconsistency of government policies, lack of workspace, and multiple taxation. Part of the conditions for banks to access the 220 billion naira fund from the CBN as the need for them to collateralize whatever amount they are applying for from the CBN to tune to about 70%, which is too high and has been brought to 50%. The Bureau of Public Enterprises estimates that Nigeria requires fresh injection of about $113 billion in 6 years to develop the three critical sectors of the nation's economy, namely oil and gas, power and transport. BPE Director General Benjamin Dickey made this known in a paper presented at the annual General Meeting of Manufacturers Association of Nigeria in Lagos. He revealed that to modernize the Nigerian transport system, investment of about $33 billion will be required in 6 years to rehabilitate and modernize the rail lines and construct new road networks across the country. On the power sector, Dickey indicated that between $18 and $20 billion investment are required in the next 6 years. He also noted that Nigeria will require about $60 billion investment in oil and gas to unleash its potentials in the sector. The BPE DG maintained that government was not in a position to finance all these investment requirements while soliciting private sector support. And now let's join Sabina Izoku on Stock Market Report.
CoreTV News Stock Market Report is brought to you by MTN.
MTN, everywhere you go.
Hello there and welcome to the Stock Market Report segment with me, Sabina Izoku. The equities markets on the Nigerian Stock Exchange floor closed on a negative note today. The All Shares Index depreciated by 3.54% to close at 31,062.03 basis points. And the same manner, the market capitalization went down to close at 10.25 trillion naira. A total of 374.7 million units of shares valued at 5.6 billion naira were exchanged in 4,258 deals. On the gainers chart, 7 atop the gainers chart, followed by Beta Glass, Eco Transnational Incorporation, Extransac, and Air Service. On the losers side, Nestle topped the losers chart, followed by Supplet Oil, 40 Oil, Nigerian Breweries, and Mobil. Meanwhile, Diamond Bank topped the traders chart, followed by Guaranty Trust Bank, Zenith Bank, Trendscore, and First City Merchant Bank of Nigeria. Just before we wrap up the stock market report, here is the currency exchange rate for today.
CoreTV News Stock Market Report is brought to you by MTN.
MTN, everywhere you go.
From there, we join Brownson Omana as he brings us stories from the sports scene.
Our style, that's what he delivered. Here's that ball storming, Puyol with a flying lead.
Bo taking them out in the lead.
Very thanks for joining us on Sport News tonight. I am Brownson Owana. General Secretary of the Nigerian Football Federation, Musa Ahmadu, has denied claims that he has been forging FIFA letters to suit certain purposes and has asked to be sued if it can be proven that he has involved in forgery. Several FIFA letters have been received by the Nigerian Football Federation over the last 6 months since the current NFF crisis began, and there have been insinuations in some quarters that some of those letters may have been forged to suit certain agenda, with Ahmadu primarily figured as the culprit. The latest FIFA letter, which apparently recognized the controversial majority report that dismissed all petitions against the conduct of the September 30 NFF elections and upheld the elections of Ahmadu Pinnick and his board members. Enyimba FC has dismissed reports that their players are roaming the streets of Aba as a result of not payment of their sign-on fees and match bonuses for last season. Farrell Alaputa, the club's head of media, said there was no truth in the claims, labeling it as entirely false. He reveals that there were plans for the state governor, Theodore Orji, to host the players at the government house in Umuahia following their Federation Cup triumph, and said these were all signs that the Abia state government has the players in their thoughts. And now to the Champions League. The attacking trio of Lionel Messi, Neymar and Luis Suarez were all on target as Barcelona came from behind to beat Paris Saint-Germain 3-1 on Wednesday in their Champions League Group F decider. Both sides had earlier qualified for this last 16, but first place was still up for grab, with the French champions needing just a point at the Camp Nou and Barcelona having to win.
Today,
one of the fittest players, Jordi Alba, was not in the game. In the end, we thought we would hurt the opposition with the players we had. We thought it would happen that way. It is true that in the end, we had more players in the attack with clear idea of creating spaces for the players who create more destabilizing situations, and that is how it happened. We suffered on some occasions, as it can go the other way in this kind of games. Against this kind of opponent in the end, I think we were stronger, and we had the options of using different formations. We can be stronger when the time comes to use them throughout a game. In short, it was a very good night for us. I think that we weren't up to scratch on the attack, because in the dangerous situation we created, we should have scored more than one goal. It should have been at least 2-2 draw. But we were missing elements, of course, as we lost the match. We didn't have any effective defense, because I don't think that Barcelona were that dangerous. But in spite of everything, they scored 3 goals as we went up to scratch both on the attack and in defense. We didn't perform as well as we could have done in this part of the game.
In the world of Formula One, Justin Button's Formula One career will continue into a 16th season following McLaren's decision to retain him alongside new signings Fernando Alonso. McLaren finally announced their lineup on Thursday after taking weeks to decide whether to keep Button or 2014 teammate Kevin Magnussen. Then Magnussen remains with McLaren at least and reserve driver. Double world champion Alonso was signed weeks ago after being persuaded to leave Ferrari. And that's my final whistle on Sport News tonight. My name is Brownson Owanai. Very big thanks for watching.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime News.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then News. CoreTV News, a 24-hour news station.
It's CoreTV Prime Time News, and now 2 stories outside Nigeria. Russia's President Vladimir Putin held talks Thursday with India's new Prime Minister as sanctions hit. Moscow seeks to strengthen energy, defense and strategic ties in Asia. Putin seeks to advance nuclear power, oil and natural gas and even diamond deals with long-standing India. On his first visit since Prime Minister Narendra Modi swept to power in May, the president was seeking new markets for Russia's natural resources as its economy reels under US and EU sanctions over its barking of an uprising in Ukraine and annexation of Crimea. Putin and Modi shook hands and smiled for the cameras on the steps of a former palace in New Delhi before heading inside for talks. Putin is expected to focus on boosting two-way trade, which stands at just $10 billion a year, despite strong ties that dates back to the 1950s after the death of Stalin. Since coming to power, Modi has sought closer ties with US President Barack Obama, who has accepted an invitation to join India's Republic Day celebration in January. But India opposes joining Western sanctions against Russia and is likely to disregard a caution from Washington that now is not the right time to do business with Moscow. And just before we go, a recap of our major stories. We told you that Muhammad Buhari beats all comers to the presidential ticket of the All Progressives Congress. We also brought you a report that President Goodluck Jonathan's candidacy has been ratified by the National Convention of the People's Democratic Party as he picks Vice President Namadi Sambo as his running mate. There was also a report on the twin bomb blast that hit the popular Jos Terminus Central Market in Plateau State, killing many. And that's our show for tonight. Thank you so much for watching. Join us again tomorrow. I am Gift or Gete. You have a wonderful night rest. In the meantime, enjoy the rest of our programs. Good night.